Hello, guys. How we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers podcast. It's Luke and Paul here for basically a season review and talk about all the things that are going on, mate. So many names, and it's provided me with quite a lot of content this week. And just want to start with a massive thank you to all the viewers this week. Nearly every video I've put out this week has hit over 1,000 views, which is fantastic for us. And I believe we've hit about another 50 subscribers this week. So if you are new, hello, welcome to the show. Where should we start, mate? I've written a few notes down. Let's talk about the season, how it ended, finished with the Conference League. Yeah, you know, we said we'd be happy with that, but you said about the form, mate, in general, didn't you?
I mean, first of all, fantastic season. Fantastic season. There's no denying it. Back-to-back European place finishes, back-to-back European campaigns, as long as we get through the first qualifier or the last, the qualifier first. Fantastic, brilliant. From where we were a couple of years ago, fantastic. But, and there is a but, it could have been so much more. It really could have been. On the last day, we have an opportunity to get ourselves into the Europa League again for the second season running. And we couldn't do it. And how many times have we said that? How many times have we had an opportunity to take that step and we didn't do it?
Yeah, and I think the Palace, the Palace beating Man United, that was like a banker. That was like I was so confident that Palace could do the result, and then just when we went 1-0 up as well, really good goal, weren't it, from Antonio? And then just I don't know, the second half there was players there that just bottled it a little bit. I think.
Yeah, definitely. We needed that one last push, and we couldn't do it. And yeah, like you say, mate, our league form to the end of the season was awful.
But something like 1 win in 7.
I think it was 1 win in, might have been worse than that. It might have been 1 in 8. 1 win in 8, and that was against Norwich.
Yeah.
Really, really poor. And the worry is because it tends to happen. How you finish a season tends to be how you start the next. So that is worrying, our league form.
Do you think you could put some of it down to tiredness, though?
I think you could put the majority of it down to tiredness.
And a long rest in the summer.
I think most of it is going to be down to tiredness, yeah. And, it comes down to the size of the squad and the players that we've got. And, that's somewhere where we need to see an improvement this summer.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. Yeah, so it's a Conference League. There's some good teams in there, mate. I think I see. I was meant to do some research, but I'm sure I see like Villarreal in there. I don't know if anyone can.
I actually haven't looked myself. I'm the same, mate. I meant to have a look to see who's actually in it next season, but
yeah, I'll let you do that quickly. But Conference League, I'm happy with that. Paul's just going to quickly get up some of the teams that might be in it next year, or that are in it next year. I know there are some good ones, though. There are some really good ones.
Let's see.
Really like the new shirt, Luke. This is not the new shirt. This is the old one, mate. This is a couple of seasons ago. Great shirt. That's one of my favourite West Ham shirts. Definitely tiredness, and Moyes very rarely used his subs. That's a good point, mate. That the subs, with the 7 subs next year in it, and you can use 5 subs. I said it in my video yesterday. Moyes needs at least 3 players that he can trust off the bench. At least 3, because he don't even trust one or 2 this year.
I know, mate, and that is a problem. You get the likes of like Alex Crowell. I saw. By the way, I can't find an easy to find list of teams that are in it, so I'm not going to bother. There's probably good teams in there.
Talking. Go on, mate. I'll look what you're talking.
The likes of Alex Crowell. I saw a really funny comment on These Up Mother Brown. Someone said like he's the player that's drew the line between being an actual player and a season ticket holder. Like what was the point? We spent so much money on Vlasic, never played him. What's the point? No. Not utilizing the players that we had. We had youth players that are, I'm pretty sure our youth teams were top of their leagues this season. Didn't use them. It's all good and well. I know Moyes says, I like working with a small squad, but then that happens when you get to the end of the season, you run out of steam. What do? You can't just throw players on. If we'd have been using the likes of Vlasic and when Crowell played, no, I don't think he was amazing, and we need to sign him permanently. But he wasn't a disaster.
No. He didn't set the world alight, but I didn't look at him and go, "Oh, he's really bad."
No, I
One,
didn't exactly, mate.
what game was it? The FA Cup one where Rice had to score the late goal. I can't remember what the team was now.
Oh yeah.
But he did play terrible in that game. But like at Old Trafford, when we won in the League Cup, I thought he was really good in that game. I thought he played a decent player.
Same as
Go on, mate. Yeah, so
I was going to say, same as with the likes of Noble. Yes, he's retiring at the end of the season. Again, no, we don't want him playing, starting, and all the rest of it. But I feel like we could have used him more. We could have used him to give players like Rice and Souček a rest.
Yeah.
For some reason, we just didn't do that.
Yeah. Some of the teams that have qualified for the Conference League, Villarreal, one of my favourite Italy teams of the past, Fiorentina, Gabriel Batistuta. I used to love him. FC Cologne, decent side. Nice, Dante, Anderlecht, Wolfsburg, Antwerp, decent. Sparta Prague, former teams of obviously Sufal and Souček. Maccabi Fire, probably heard of them before. Moldy, yeah. St Patrick's Athletic. There's some proper, really obscure names in there as well.
Plus, obviously, teams that will drop down from the Europa as well.
Yeah. But like you say, mate, we've got to get through that qualifying, which is on, I believe, August time, August 15th time. And we don't play in the cup. We get a buy in the cup as well, like the League Cup and stuff like that. So that's all good as well. But it's a competition I look forward to. Is it a competition that we should be going out to try and win?
Of course, 100%. Yeah, it's we did really well in the Europa League. Got to the semi-final. Obviously, I feel like really we should have done better. So yeah, definitely, this is it's a chance of a cup. It's a chance to win a European competition.
Well, I did not know that was Roma's first ever European competition win. That. And look what it meant to them. Roma are a huge team, huge
exactly,
team.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Serie A's and huge, just a huge team, aren't they? Played in Champions League loads. Yeah, it is quite funny though that Jose, won a trophy at every single club, but nothing at Tottenham. But I do fear Tottenham next year. I have to say, Conte is a top manager. Let's just quickly go in the comments. Whoops, you know what I meant. I do, mate. I do. 5 subs is going to benefit the bigger teams with larger squads. That's right. When Man City can leave Sterling, Grealish, Foden, etc. on the bench to come on, it's only there to hurt teams, isn't it? And Kidderminster was the team. Anything else on this? I'll tell you what, just to sum up the season a little bit more, mate. What was your favourite moment of the season?
So I was thinking about this earlier, and a lot of people obviously going to say the second leg against Seville, which was a fantastic game.
So you break it into 2 parts then. So what's your favourite Europa League moment and then your Premier League moment?
Oh, well, that would be the Europa League moment, and the Premier League moment would be the Yarmolenko goal against Villa.
Oh, yes, yeah. No, Europa League. It's it has to be Seville or that fantastic 3-0 away win in Lyon, which was just incredible. Or even the first night, when Rice scored that goal when he ran from the halfway line.
Oh, what a goal that was!
Just a moment, weren't it? Just such a great moment. And then for the league, mate, there's so many. Beating Liverpool, mate. Liverpool only lost 2 games out of 64 games, and we are one of those names in that. Do you know what I mean? That was definitely one. The Chelsea, the Masuaku fluky goal. That was a brilliant moment. Craig Dawson scoring the winning penalty against Man City in the Cup. There's been some great performances this season. Really, really fantastic. What about worst moment? What's your worst moment of the season? And that can be either, league or... Obviously, Frankfurt was painful. Frankfurt was a painful one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's probably going to be the Noble penalty miss.
I was going to say exactly the same, mate. The Noble penalty. I think those 2 Man United games, on reflection, we should have won both those games.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I can't. The fact that they took 6 points off us this year, and they've been terrible this season. It's so disappointing. And obviously,
you look like Arsenal game as well. Like there's so many games.
Yeah.
Yes, we've slipped up against the Brentfords, the Burnleys, the Leeds was a really bad result, the 3-2 loss. But those 2 Man United games stick out massively. Yeah. We'll keep going on the season before we go transfers, mate. Player of the season for you? I know, obviously, Declan Rice won it, but if you just on your individual vote, who would have got it?
Jared Bowen. Just for the improvement.
Well, have you got top three? What about top three? The top three.
It's going to be
number one.
Yeah, Bowen, Rice.
It's got to be
third.
Dawes, surely. Dawes. But then Zuma's been incredible. Zuma has been incredible.
Zuma was brilliant. Before his injury, Ogbonna, again, was fantastic. It's difficult to pick a third, actually. It is difficult. All right, yeah, we'll say Dawson, just because the impact that he had this season. Obviously, a lot of injuries in defence. The fact that he stepped in,
scored some important goals as well.
Yeah, scored some big goals. You know, he wouldn't have been expecting to play anywhere near as much as he did this season. He did really, really well. So yeah, there you go. That'd be my top three. It'd be Bowen for the sheer improvement this season. Rice because he's just Rice. And he's, so good and consistent. And then, Dawson, I think
I agree with that, Freeman. I think I did actually vote for Dawson as my hammer of the year. Maybe I was a bit, loved up with him towards the end of the season because of the important goals. But, I think, like you say, mate, it is tough, that third one, because Zuma was fantastic as well. He really, he's had his controversies, which rightly so, he gets his criticism for it. But I don't think anyone can deny he's one of the best centre-backs that we've bought.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah.
By a player that goes in the team and immediately makes an impact on how better we are. Apparently, the biggest loss we had this season, mate, as well. I know we've had 3-1s, but apparently the 2-0 Arsenal is the most we've been beat. And I think that says a lot as well. We ain't had our bellies tickled much this year.
It was a long time before we lost the game by more than one goal. It was a long time in the season. So, but then I think we did have actually that's because it was sort of covered up because we were scoring lots. I think we actually had one. We scored against. Didn't we score against every? Yeah, so we scored against every team in the league. But I think we have one of the worst defensive records this season. So that is obviously definitely somewhere we need to look to improve. But again, you look at the injuries that we had this season in defence. Crazy.
What about disappointment of the season? And we're not allowed to say, we're not allowed to say the Kraus and the Vlasic because they're obvious. For actual players that have played for West Ham this season, more than 5 games, who would be your disappointment?
For me, I would have to say Cresswell. Sending offs, costing us. We are constantly targeted down that left-hand side. He didn't have the same impact with assists and creating chances this season. He's been a fantastic player for us. But this season, I think, was the end of the road.
He still has a place in the team, but not as I think we need to go and buy a new starting left back. There's a few players now, and when we talk about transfers, that transitions need to start happening. Then we need to get that next left back ready. We need to get that new striker ready, left winger. It goes on and on and on. My disappointment, I think Cresswell's definitely a good shout, but I was a bit disappointed with Big Tom this year. I have to say, and I'm not saying sell him, and I know we'll talk about that later, but I think Big Tom was nowhere near as influential as what he was. Maybe he was figured out. Maybe Rice playing in that more forward position.
Yeah. I think for me, in defence of Souček, is number one that I think he was definitely reined in to allow Rice to get forward more. I think that was definitely a factor because you saw when he played and Rice didn't play, he was scoring goals. And I think just the sheer amount of football he's played in the last 2 years, and he hasn't had a rest. We haven't given him a rest.
What you said about the Rice there, mate. He played one game I think without Rice, and that was Watford. And I think he scored 2 goals in that game. That was
he scored at least one. I can't remember if he scored 2, but yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely think he was sort of reined in and held back a little bit by allowing Rice to get forward. So that's kind of my defence.
On that though, to finish on that bit, has that been a failure or success, that project, the Rice and Souček thing?
I think it's been a failure, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree.
Because Rice, Rice is brilliant at carrying the ball forward, but he doesn't really. When he gets into that final third, how many goals has he scored? How many assists has he made?
Mm.
Compared to
He's got
Souček,
some
when
good goals. He's
Souček.
got some really good goals this season.
Exactly.
And he's been fantastic. He's been fantastic.
But compared to in that role, compared to Souček, yeah, Rice is far better carrying the ball forward. Rice is better carrying the ball from midfield to attack. No doubt about it. Right, Souček's not great on the ball. Rice is far, far better on the ball. But get into the box, who's better? Who do you want in the box? You want Souček in the box. So I think that has been detrimental. And Souček's not, because he's been forced to sit. I don't think he's not really the best defensive midfielder. He runs around and his energy is brilliant, but he's not really the best.
He can't
tackler.
pass the ball.
He can't pass
the ball. He cannot pass the ball.
Yeah, I just feel like it's taken. It's taken everything. It's nullified everything good about Souček and brought out the worst of everything he does by doing that.
We'll talk a bit more about him in terms of the outs a bit later. He definitely will come up again later, Souček. Good afternoon, lads. Sorry I'm late. It was after the season I found out we had qualified for the Conference League. For me, it's disappointing, but I'm happy we've got European football. I think most people are a little bit disappointed, but, we'll embrace it. Can't see anyone beating Man City with Haaland. I know, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I have to say, I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Prem. This is a really nice comment. Lads, just want to say a huge thank you for all you've done in the last 2 years during lockdown. I'm not one for talking about personal stuff, but it's really helped me. Love you, lads. Thanks, Dads, Matt. Oh, thanks.
Cheers, Matt.
Appreciate that, Matt. We do what we can. Rice, Bowen, and Dawson in that order. This comment, we will definitely come back to it in the next section, which is transfers. Areola's save against Seville was a massive moment. It certainly was. Bowen was Duncan's Hammer of the Year. Someone agrees with me there. Souček has been a disappointment this season. You guys put some great videos, informative, impartial, very enjoyable. This channel deserves 10k plus. Hopefully, one day. I think we'll hit 4k this year. 4k will happen this year. Souček was played out of position. Moyes as well, not using the bench, was tired. Hammers News said something about Daniel Krotensky wanting to sell our target Adam Hojsik to buy Leverkusen for less than 20 million. Yeah, apparently he is gone. Apparently he has signed for him. What do you make of that, mate? One we've missed? Or
I don't think so.
Don't want him, he don't want him.
Yeah, that's what it. Obviously Krasinski's on our board. If we wanted him, we'd have him. If we wanted him, we'd have him. So I can only say that he wasn't on Moyes' list. No. I can't see any other reason for that.
Souček scored 5 goals this season. Rice going forward has cost us 10 plus goals this season. Oh, a very controversial comment, Duncan, but I have to agree. Poor Souček got 5 goals from central midfield without taking free kicks or pens. How many other central midfielders matched that last season?
Mate, we're not saying that he was bad. You're saying he was bad in comparison to what he could be and what he has been.
He was a disappointment. He wasn't as effective as he had been the season before. A professional footballer that can't pass the ball shouldn't be playing football. Otherwise, we could have signed Mo Farah. I agree. One more thing on the season, mate. What was your goal of the season?
Lanzini won goal of the season, didn't he?
Lanzini's won against Palace. The boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that was really, really good. Although, do you know, I have to say, mate, that Antonio goal.
Oh, mate. Whew.
That was some goal from him on his left foot. So
Ben Rama in Europe as well. We put bloke's legs. That was a good one.
Yeah, we've had a few good goals. Yeah, there's been a few. There's been a few good goals this season.
Yeah, Masuaku's won if he meant it. Last thing on this, and this is the last thing. I know I keep saying the last thing. Rating out of 10 for the season.
Oh, that is really difficult.
I've got to give it an 8, I think. I'll give it a really
8 is what immediately my brain went to was to give it an 8. It's so difficult. If you take the season, if you just look at where we finished, semi-final with the Europa League, into Europe again next season, it's phenomenal. You have to, at least an 8. But the way we finished the season in the league, really, really poor. We kind of fell off in big important moments we didn't take advantage of.
And didn't, capitalise on transfer window and stuff like that. And it is
Yeah,
fair to
exactly.
reflect on that. We have to reflect on that because that is a
Poor
big thing.
transfer window. It's so
Tottenham
difficult,
by
mate.
Tottenham by the two
Kulusevski.
boys from Serie A, they get Champions League football. We by two, we probably would have won the Europa League.
It's really difficult, mate. I think if you were looking at it, just looking at the end of the season, the final table, and Europa League semi-final, it's easier, Nate. I think if you take everything into account, I don't know, maybe I'd drop that to a 7. And I know that sounds harsh. But if you're taking everything into account,
what about you? Yeah, 7.5 to an 8, like I say. And again, it's all down to that, just not having that bit of kahoonies to go and take it that little bit further. Just have a little bit of bottle. Go and buy it. Try and do something special. Yeah. This is a comment for you, mate. It's annoying that some fans still give Cresswell stick for the red, but Zuma was out of position. Sorry, but it's annoying that no one mentions that either. Sorry for this comment. No, mate, it's not just that game, though. It's not just that game. That's what we're getting at. We're not digging him out for that, just that red. 2 reds, should I say, as well.
No, exactly. And he's targeted constantly. And regardless, Zuma was out of position. Well, he was out of position. What was he doing putting his hands on him? Doesn't matter where everyone else was on the pitch. What was he doing putting his hands on him?
Well, he's got to trust in Areola there, hasn't he?
It was so stupid, Matt. It was so stupid, and it was needless.
Yeah.
You have to, like you say, you let him go, and you trust the goalkeeper. Maybe he makes a save, maybe he puts it wide.
If we concede at that point and you've still got 11 players on the pitch, we've got a much better chance than 10 players on the pitch. I think that's my criticism with that.
Yeah, it was such a stupid thing to do. And the second one, it was like a carbon copy. You just didn't learn from the first time. And no, it was really bad, mate. Really bad.
Glenn agrees. Lanzini versus Palace. 8 for the season, 2 back-to-back Europe. Yeah, you have to take that into account as well. 2 back-to-back Europe. That January window cost us, I agree. Luke and Paul, if GSP didn't go all out, in your opinion, who has to be the first one out the door?
No, he's saying if GSP didn't all go at once, so Gold, Sullivan, Brady, who's the first out the door of those 3?
Sullivan.
Well, to be honest, Sullivan's the one putting the strings.
He's the main man, yeah.
Gold, I don't think Gold knows what day of the week it is. Gold's just on the board. I don't think that actually does anything anymore. Brady doesn't do anything.
I'll tell you what, when they go in March, May next year, she will be the first one to absolutely cane us in her little sun column. No dig at Cresswell, but if someone was who was good at set pieces, a new left back would have been a priority.
I think a left back is a priority, mate. I think that is a priority position.
There's no surprise that we're linked with Bassi, we're linked with Cornet from Burnley, which again we'll talk about in a minute. Cresswell has never been the fastest or the greatest defender, but he's slowed down more.
It's ever since, what was it, 2-3 years ago when he got that really bad injury?
Yeah, because he bottled tackles for about a year and a half.
Yeah. Since then, he's just... No, he, like you say, mate, he was pulling out of tackles, scared to get stuck in. And that, like you say, he never been the fastest, but that pace is gone.
Regardless, Paul, mate, he is a centre-back. Why is he so high?
Mate, listen, I'm not like, you can blame... You can blame him for being out of position, and you can if they'd have gone on and scored from that goal's Zuma's fault. But the red card is all Cresswell. It's all Cresswell. If Cresswell had let him go and he'd gone on and scored, we're all blaming Zuma. It's Zuma's fault.
I think it could have been even slightly more forgivable if he hadn't done it 2-3 weeks before.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd done exactly the same thing 2 weeks later. Like, what these European refs are like. They're going to, any chance to get that red card out, they'll do it. That's enough of last season. That is over now. Our retained list has come out, mate. Fairly predictable. Mark Noble retired. Yarmolenko's gone. Any sort of little comment, like a sentence or two on Yarmolenko's career at West Ham?
Really, really chuffed when we signed him. Such a good player. Technique, ability, amazing. As what happens so often with West Ham players, got injured, was never the same afterwards. He's never really been the fastest player. Maybe not quite suited to the Premier League, but absolute wonder of a left foot. Scored some fantastic goals.
I thought he played really well when Arnie was there. I think when him and Arnie were together, I thought they played really well together.
Yeah.
Fredericks, mate, he's gone. I didn't think he played bad any time he played this season, to be honest with you.
No, I don't. You know, he played quite a bit.
Pace.
He played quite a bit at the start of the season, didn't he? And yeah, I agree, mate. When he played, I think he done well. I think he played all right. But you know, how many right backs do we need? Johnson's obviously coming through. We've got.
And I think Ashby. I think he's gonna. We might see a bit of Ashby next year.
Ashby's in the wings. So yeah, I don't mind letting him go. To me, mate, the biggest impact to letting him go is on Declan Rice, because him and Rice were like best mates.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you know, again, he was fine. Never really pulled up any trees at West Ham. But yeah, wish him well wherever he ends up.
How many points will we win the title by next season? We won't
24.
win it, mate. I reckon we're going to finish 12th next year. Dan, we just need one more point than Man City. Yeah, I'm a massive waste of money looking back, but Seville winner is one of the biggest moments of our lifetime. I agree. David Martin's gone as well, mate. Obviously, a guy will be remembered for the Chelsea game. Randolph stays, which is quite surprising. Are you surprised at that?
Well, he stays so far. He's not out of contract, is he? So when we did the retain list, that's only players that are out of contract. So I still think Randolph will go. It just means we'll sell him. That also, though, two players that weren't listed as being out of contract, who I believe is Fabianski, who must have signed a year extension and hasn't been announced. And who else was it who was out and who would have signed an extension? There's one more as well.
Woggy?
Bonner, yeah. Bonner not on that list as well. So again, you would assume that he signed an extension and it hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah. Before we talk about potential wins, mate, is there any players that, we'll talk about that you would sell or you think really need replacing? We'll start with goalies. Fabianski really at the end really started to be a bit too flappy for me. He's a good goalie and would be a great backup goalie to anyone that comes in, but I think it is quite crucial to get Areola done.
Yes, I agree completely, mate. I think Areola should have been bought in towards the end of the season to be our first choice goalkeeper. I fully expect he will be our first choice goalkeeper next season. And like you say, Fabianski's been unbelievable for us. He's been brilliant. But more and more mistakes starting to creep in, sort of more and more shots. You think, someone else would have done better there. So definitely. I want him to stay at the club. Yeah, like you say, move him to number 2, sign up Areola permanently, move him to number 1. That's definitely what I would do.
Across the defensive line, mate, anyone that you expect to leave? I think Masuaku will go, and I think Diop will potentially go as well. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Masuaku will go. Diop, I think it depends on. I think Diop depends on how much we can get for him. It wouldn't surprise me if he went, but it wouldn't surprise me if he stayed. Do you know what I mean?
I think he goes because it looks like a good guy is done. I don't know. I'm not in the know, but by all accounts, there's a photo of him in the shirt. He's been to the training ground, and it's going to be announced when the new kit gets launched. So for me, I think it makes sense that Diop.
But then you've got to think, mate. So obviously, rumours that Dulce could be off as well.
Obviously, that's a good point.
If Ogbonna signs an extension, and I do see a comment from Helen there. Who knows what kind of player he's going to be after the injury. So we've signed the Gued, but then how many defenders have we actually got? We've got him and Zuma. And then if Dawson goes, if Ogbonna don't come back as he is, do you really then want to be selling Diop as well?
No, that's true.
Then you've only got 2 centre halves. So it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Diop stay.
Yeah, whilst we're on the defence, then we may as well talk about him. A Gerd, mate, do you know much about him? I've seen videos of him keeping up with Salah and keeping up with Mane and running box to box and making a last-ditch tackle. And he looks like he runs like Declan Rice, actually. Very similar.
He's got a really long stride. Really long stride. That's how come he seems to cover so much ground so quickly. He's like you say, there's a video that was floating around of him going box to box and making a tackle. Like it's hard to like if you look at all the players around him who were running, they were like, but he was just boom, 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 yeah, just that long stride.
Yeah.
But I have to say, mate, apart from those videos, I can't say I know too much about him.
Be nice to have some pace though, wouldn't it, at the back? You know, Zuma's not
definitely.
Zuma's not very slow. Zuma's not like slow, but you know, we do need, you know, pace is so important. And I go out on the whim, mate, and say we are the slowest team in the Premier League.
Mm.
Do you not think?
Yeah, now Fredericks is gone as well.
We have the fastest guy. Yeah, we had the fastest.
Yeah, who have we got with any pace in the side? Real
Mate,
pace.
there's no raw pace. There's nothing
no.
raw pace, mate. There's players that are good, you know, with the ball and there's being quick with the ball, but there's no one who, even Bowen, he's not killer. He's not killer pace. He's not killer. Going into the midfield then, mate, obviously Kral's gone, Noble's gone. Anyone else? And by midfield, we can go into the Vlasic's, the Benrahmas. Does Benrahma and Vlasic have a career left at West Ham?
I think both of those, and it seems to be what the rumours are. I think if we get decent offers in, both of those will go. I don't know who's going to be bidding on Vlasic. I can see bids coming in for Benrahma.
I can see Benrahma bids coming in.
Rumours he goes back to Brentford. I don't know who's going to come in for Vlasic. So, but I think, yeah, like the rumours are out there. Sort of if bids come in for those two, they'll be allowed to go. As far as the central positions, I don't think we can afford to sell anyone.
Yeah, like Duncan says there, any news about Lanzini saying obviously he wanted to go back to River Plate. I'd like him to stay for another year. I think he really started to show what he was about a little bit towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I think Lanzini will go back to River, but I don't think he'll go yet. I think he's too young for that.
And he has just had that baby as well, mate. I don't know whether he must be happy in England. You know what I mean? He's been here a bloody long time now. But yeah, I hope he stays. I like him. I do like him. There's still a place.
Same. And we like I say,
our best player on the ball. He's our best player on the ball.
You know, you're talking Lanzini, Fornals, Rice, Souček. We can't afford to sell anyone. We can't. No, we can't. Yes, we need to see who we bring in, but as it stands right now, we can't afford to let them go.
Yeah, and then the next question I ask you on then, mate, is will any of them go because of a big bid? And that's a Rice or a Bowen?
I don't think so. No. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think anyone's coming in for Rice. I think Rice is definitely going to stay with us for another season.
There's too many good midfield. I'm not saying that Rice isn't the best of all of them, but you've got Basuma, you've got Phillips, and I think there was another one I remember reading, that Tuchamendi. I think he plays for Monaco, and Frank Kessie as well. Obviously, he's gone to Barcelona, I believe. I think there's too many out there that these other teams can go and get, and they don't need to pay the Rice money out yet.
Yeah, I don't think Rice is going anywhere this summer.
Even Man United are linked with Kanté today.
Oh, yeah.
In Chelsea. So I know he's 32, 33 now, but you can see maybe they're thinking, we'll have a quick fix and might be able to get Rice slightly cheaper next summer.
Bowen, I just don't see a bid coming in big enough that would let us let us sell him.
On Bowen, happy that he got the England call up.
Oh, of course, yeah, well deserved. Well deserved. It would have been an absolute scandal if he didn't. So yeah, pleased to see that. Pleased for him. Well deserved. Well deserved. He should play as well.
And dare I say it, mate, the last one, because he is the only attacker at the club, mate, Mikel Antonio. There are rumours, mate, again, those horrible rumours that I hate hearing, mate, that he's happy and he wants someone to play as second fiddle to Antonio. What is your opinion on that, mate? Is it just smoke and mirrors? Is it a game he's playing?
Yeah, better be.
If Mikel Antonio is our starting striker next season, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, mate. It's been killing me. It has been absolutely killing me on the forums and stuff this week. People talking about Antonio. Yes, Antonio is a good player. Yes, Antonio has done well for us. And people were saying, oh, but Antonio offers so much more than just goals. He's done this, he's done that. He's done this many goal contributions and he's up there with the best in the league. I don't care. That is not sustainable. And look how old he is.
Yeah, mate, that's what I've said. He's 32, I believe 33 next season. There needs to be that transition period for that next striker, which should have been this season. Should have been this season.
Mate, it's winding me up. like the club was saying it, and now I'm seeing fans echo this. Oh, we can't sign anyone better than Antonio.
Go away.
We can't sign
Go
anyone better
away.
than Antonio. Listen. All right, then. If to the fans, I don't know if there's anyone in these comments who believe this, but if you genuinely believe we can't sign a better player than Mikel Antonio, all right, then let's give him a 10-year contract. Let's let him play until he's 45. Because what's the point? What's the point? If we can't sign a single player in the world who can do the same sort of things or have the same kind of contributions or score goals or do anything as good as Mikel Antonio, who's apparently now, prime Ronaldo, what's the point? Give him a 10-year contract.
Breaking that record is the worst thing that ever happened. And I don't know, listen, I'm a West Ham fan, and there's going to be some really probably hostile comments back to this. Breaking that record is the worst thing that happened, because now it's like he can justify that he's this striker. Listen, at the start of the season, and I think we both said it, mate, and I think we would both sit here and go, oh, wow, his finish is improved. He scored a great goal against Newcastle. I think he scored a really good goal against Leicester as well. But then, mate, he went 17 games without scoring a goal. And and like you say, mate, you're telling me that no one's better. Yes, these strikers go through barren spells, but Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, I've seen fans on the forums saying, so obviously we're linked with Broja, saying he's rubbish. He's nowhere near good enough. He don't score enough goals.
He fell off at the end of the season.
Oh, but Antonio's better, is he? Antonio's the man, is he? Antonio's the man to lead us as a club for the next 10 years.
But there's people turning their nose up about Emmanuel Dennis as well, another player we're heavily linked with. Obviously, he's not going to play striker. If he comes in, he'll probably play left wing. But he scored 10 goals. I don't know what Antonio ended up with. Did he end up with 10 goals, Antonio, in the end? Or 8?
Bowen got 11, didn't he? And Antonio got 10.
Yeah.
Or did Bowen get 11 or 12? But Antonio got 10, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, mate. It
mate, I can't deal with another season of frustration from him. I can't. And that's not. And again, people go, "Oh yeah, but we had such a good season. We finished 7th. We got semi-final. Yeah, we did. And it was brilliant. But how much better could it have been if we actually had a player who stayed in the box, actually, focused himself? I don't know, mate. I don't know.
And what happens if we say, "Oh, right, fine, we'll just sign a backup, striker." Who's not really good? We'll just sign a backup.
And then Moyes don't use him.
And then what happens if two weeks into the season, Antonio's hamstrings go and he's out for the rest of the season?
No, exactly, mate. Exactly.
Oh, it kills me.
I'm not saying get rid of him either. I'm not saying that. And there is a place for him at West Ham. Are you on that? Yeah.
Oh, of course there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course there is. Because
I'm not against him going on the wing. I'm not, and I think he'd be more effective on the wing as well.
If you needed someone, like you say, he always pulls out to the left-hand side anyway. If you want to play him out there, play him out there. If you need someone to come on against a tiring defense as a battering ram and cause chaos, there's going to be no one better. So yeah, there's 100% there is a role for him at West Ham as the leading striker at the club. No, as the only striker at the club. Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm getting wound up.
Tell me what other clubs, and this is for the people in the comments, because I'm going to go back into the comments before we talk about some of the targets. Tell me another club that he might go into their team in the top 10 of the Premier League. Does he go in Wolves' team in front of Jimenez? No. Does he go in front of Harry Kane? No. Does he go in front of Eddie Nketiah? Probably not either. Does he go in front of Neil Maupay at Brighton? Maybe. Does he go in front of Iheanacho? Does he go in front of Vardy in Leicester's team? Aston Villa? Does he go in front of, their strikers? Ollie Watkins? Please tell me, guys, please. But yeah, Antonio, I have had enough of him up front. I've had enough. How many times, mate, in the chat, in our own personal chat, every game do we go, he is effing shit. How many times? Every match. Every single match. Never been the biggest Benrahma fan, but it's a huge risk getting rid of him of what he's contributed goal-wise, considering he didn't start every week. How do you guarantee you replace him? Yeah, I like him, mate. I'd keep him. But we do need some more, again, to ease that pressure on him. Duncan has read that Bowen is happy here. I'm not surprised, new bird and that. Of course he would be. Only Harewood got more Premier League goals in a season in the 21st century than Bowen. He's the main man next season. Should be aiming for 50.
So,
but don't want to see him as striker.
yeah. So what you're saying? You're saying you move him off the wing where he's been so effective, and you put him up front. Is that what you're saying? And then who do you play on the wing?
Exactly.
Like you lose. It doesn't matter. Then you lose it. Are you saying that yes, he's been brilliant? He should be aiming for 15 goals off the wing. If you are brilliant, then he's going to be one of the most effective wingers in the league. But then we still need a striker to complement that.
Yeah. And we need a left-sided player as well, mate. We
exactly. And then we need a left-sided Bowen. We need a left-sided Bowen. It's just not. You can't just say, "Oh, Bowen's been brilliant." So all right then. So we'll just stick with Antonio up front and no left winger. Sweet.
Southgate started with one hammer now. Now we've got two. But surely it will be three hammers. Southgate needs the West Ham winning forward. Yeah, a couple of players we're going to talk about in a minute. If we did sign any of them, we probably could have three hammers at the World Cup. I'm a bit worried about Liverpool coming in for Bowen after failing in the Champions League. The only danger with them is I don't think Mane is going to be there next season. And then you've got Diaz, who's going to be their new left-hand side. You've got Salah that said he's saying. You've got Jota. You've got that new boy Carvalho. Do they need Bowen yet? I don't think so. I don't know.
I mean, if I've always said this, if they sign Bowen, it'll be like when they signed Shaqiri.
Yeah, I think it's a bit detrimental for his career.
It won't. And don't get me wrong, Shaqiri was brilliant for them. Scored some really important goals, and I think Bowen would be the same. But if Bowen goes to Liverpool, he ain't going there to be the main man.
No, it's Salah's position.
He's going there to come off the bench.
It's Mo Salah's position.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I wouldn't go there yet. I can understand why a player would want to be there playing them big games, but not yet. When you consider Moyes said of the January transfer and he couldn't find anyone better, it's a joke. Yeah, I know Paul loves that comment. That would be interesting to know how many goals Bowen could have scored if he hadn't got injured. I think he would have hit 20 easy. I think he would have easily got the 20 in all competitions. He got to 18, didn't he, in all competitions? To be honest, I love Mickey, but 10 goals isn't enough for me anymore. But his stats are amazing in 3 years. 30 goals, 16 assists in 86 games. That is good stats. I can't deny that. I cannot deny that stat-wise. No, you can't deny it stat-wise. 30 goals in 86 games. No, that is good going, mate. That's 1 in 3.
1 in 3, yeah, brilliant.
And sorry, mate, but you do have to. I'm playing devil's advocate here. How many strikers actually get 20 goals now? They don't exist. Top goal scorers was Son, who's a left winger, and Salah, who's a right winger.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I'm not
and Harry
arguing
Kane
against that.
And Harry Kane.
Let's say, no, I'm not even going to do it. I was going to do a devil's advocate there, but then people just, so those goals don't count then. What was it? We scored. Antonio scored 4 goals in a game.
Norwich a couple of years ago
against Norwich, bumping those 30 goals up quite a bit there. Take those goals out. What's he? 1 in 4, 1 in 5? Colton Cole levels. But we won't say that.
No, mate. I could really like go in on Antonio. He just winds me up. If we can't sign a better striker, then close the gates. Since he got a new contract and a number 9 shirt, he's been crap. See, it's nice to know that some people, share our opinions as well. When Benrahma, Bowen, and Fornals get 10 plus strikers, our striker would have to get a minimum of 12.
Don't get me wrong,
a few actually as well. Yeah,
I do understand that the argument of people were saying, "Oh, well, you look at the likes of Liverpool who don't really play with a striker; they rely on their players around them to get goals and all that." I understand that. Fair enough. If Moyes wants to try and be that kind of team, but we haven't got the players for that. Not yet, anyway. Not yet.
We definitely will sign a centre forward. It's all smoke and mirrors. Too many other teams around us. We'll be bidding for the same player. How about Antonio on the wing again? I think he prefers it there, and we can get Ollie Watkins from Villa as frontman. I've got nothing against Antonio going on the wing, and I also think it would take the pressure off him actually scoring goals. Look at Joe Linton at Newcastle. Brought in as this attacking player, played striker. Mate, he's turned into like prime Vieira when he's been dropped into centre midfield because that pressure of scoring goals is gone. And I think putting Mickey back onto the wing, you might get the better out of him as well.
Richarlison was similar as well at Everton.
Yeah, no, mate. Jeff Hathaway says, thanks for your efforts through the year, Luke and Paul, from down under, spot on Mickey. So frustrated, I see, mate. We're not the only ones. Right, mate, some names coming in. Got a few here written down.
Oh, Luke's got his transfer dossier.
Yeah, my
he's been doing his scouting reports.
We'll start with the one that, this obvious is Jesse Lingard. £180,000 a week and a 10 million signing on bonus.
Yeah, all right, Jesse.
Not our money. If David Moyes want him, should we just pay it?
No. You cannot give Jesse Lingard, 180 grand a week?
Yeah, and 10 million signing on bonus.
Yeah, all right. No. Completely destroy the wage structure at the club. Then you've got the likes of Rice, you've got the likes of Bowen.
Souček, who's wanting a new contract.
Souček, who wants a new contract, saying, hang on a minute, what's going on here then? And he hasn't played in a year. No. So I'll be honest.
You sound like Ben Kingsley then. No.
I don't want us to sign him. I don't. It's
really? You don't think it makes sense as a signing? That he already
not that kind of money, mate.
Not on that kind of money. Not on that kind of money. But what kind of money then? If
he's coming in, and again, like I say, he hasn't played for a year. If he's coming in on 80 to 100 grand a week, if he's coming in on similar money to the likes of Bowen, all for it. Go for it. For that kind of money, no. He hasn't played in a year. There's no guarantees. And not only is there no guarantees.
How much is he worth then? If we were buying him, how much is he worth?
12, 15 million at the most. At the most. Like I say, he hasn't played. If we were talking at the end of last season, when he was on fire for West Ham, he was putting up numbers of like literally the best attacking midfielder on the planet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right. Then that's when we should have got him. He didn't want to come. He wanted to start Man United. Understandable. Fair enough. Hasn't worked out. He hasn't played. Another year's gone on. Another year sitting on the bench, not doing anything. There's no way on earth he comes to West Ham and has the same impact he had the first time round.
Yeah,
no way. And he's going to have all that pressure on him. When he isn't hitting those numbers again, which were not sustainable in the first place, fans are going to start getting on his back. Add to that, we're paying him 150, 180 grand a week. No way. For me, mate, it's gone.
Do you think he will come then?
I hope not. It scares me.
Well, what if it's 120 grand a week and, 5 million signing on bonus? I think 120 grand a week for, someone who could force his way back into the England team. My argument is it is a World Cup year. He will come back hungry, mate. He knows it's his last chance to get in that World Cup team. He knows that Southgate likes him and he's potentially got an outside chance to get in there.
I think we need, and I've said this throughout the season when we've talked about games after the games, and we've said, I imagine if we had a Lingard, it would have been different. So I do think, again, it all comes down to the numbers. 120 grand a week. Do I think Jesse Lingard's worth 120 grand a week? Honestly, mate, I don't know. It's so hard to say because he hasn't played. If he'd been playing this season...
Played one game and scored a worldie against us.
Well, yeah. But if he'd been playing this season, and if you could look at this season and say, yeah, he's still doing it. I'm not even saying that he can't still do it.
My argument was as well with my video I did the other day, mate, and let me know what you think on this. The fact that he hasn't played for a year also means that he hasn't really lost legs for a year either. That's a year that he could probably add on at the end. When he's 32, 33, 34, that's another year that he hasn't played and his legs are all right. He's not actually played a lot of football.
Maybe. It's an argument, mate. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like him, but as I keep saying, if he don't want it, got to move on and move on early. Move on. None of this. Oh, we'll wait till last day because maybe, and then you get the panic buy of Vlasic. We don't want that. We really don't want that. Duncan says move on from Jesse. Glad it's not pink like Gio's army book, that is. If he was doing it in training at United, he would have played move on. Sorry, I've just skipped ahead a little bit too much there. I'll take Jesse on 75 to 120 grand a week with 500k / 2.5 million bonus. For me, Move on if it's 150 grand a week, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no,
I agree with that, Matt. I agree with that.
Lingard didn't turn up for the last 5-6 games.
I don't think that's fair, mate.
No, I don't think that's fair. Yeah, I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair. I wouldn't say he didn't turn up. I don't agree with that at all. He wasn't performing to the same, again, he wasn't performing to the same level he was previously, but that was unsustainable. He was literally putting up messy numbers.
At that time, he was best player in the league. For them 9 games, he was the best player in the league.
Yeah, it was not sustainable. It was not sustainable. He would literally have been like one of the best players in the world statistically. Yeah. So I don't agree that he didn't turn up. It's just the numbers that he were putting in before that were so good, it weren't sustainable.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lingard is dangling a carrot in front of us in Newcastle. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he signs with Newcastle. Newcastle going to off whoever we want that Newcastle want. Newcastle will probably win because they can, they can throw like 70, 80 grand a week at players like Chris Woods. That's just what it is. There is a deal to be done with Lingard. Goals, pace, and England incentive. We really liked him at the club before. Let's have him again. Yeah, like I say, it makes sense. Moyes likes him. Moyes will play him. He likes Rice. He already knows what the club's about. It makes sense. Everything makes sense about that deal. But we can't, like you say, mate, we can't break this wage structure and cause some friction in there. It can't be done. And also, mate, it's not even the players that are already there. If we sign Jesse Lingard first on 180 grand a week, and that's, one of the next names on the list, right? We'll go James Ward-Prowse, for example. Okay, I want 200 grand a week to come to West Ham. And, that's the starting price for any new player, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you're right, mate.
Yeah. The game he scored against us, I was with my 2 pals, United fan, not a good day at the office. Our recruitment strategy has never changed. Let's give it a chance. We need to get James Ward-Prowse in. Imagine him in a free role in our team. Yeah, that was the next name on the list, mate. James Ward-Prowse. Yes or no?
Again, it's all about the money, isn't it? Yes, but at what? What was it? £65 million?
I think you could get him out of there for 55, apparently. I think 55 you could get him out of there. Let me give you some names, right, to make it easier, because there's a few names that have been linked, right, that are all around that sort of 50, 60 million. Phillips, James Ward-Prowse, McGinn at Villa, or Conor Gallagher. Which one? And you could, you can say what you like about them or whatever.
I honestly think of those names, I think Phillips makes the most sense. My issue with Ward-Prowse is, apart from he's probably best in the world free kicks, he's coming in, he would have to play centre mid. So I'm guessing he's going to replace Souček. Can he do what Souček does in the centre of midfield? Apart from, you're paying for the set pieces, you're paying for the free kicks. Outside of that, what does he offer that's worth that kind of money?
No, it's true, mate. It is true. It's true. I think I've been blinded myself, by free kick, because I love a free kick. I love someone who can score a worldie. But yeah, outside that, him, Rice, and Souček in the midfield.
And then would he? I don't think we'd be playing a free in midfield.
It looks good on paper. It looks fantastic on paper. But I don't know. You're right. For me, Phillips
makes the most sense, because I feel like he can do.
Not Gallagher, no. Not Gallagher.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I think that Phillips can do what Souček does. I think to a lesser extent he can do what Rice does. If you're talking about someone to come in and we're looking at rotational players, I think Phillips is, to be honest with you, I think he's absolutely perfect.
And he's already got that relationship with Rice. In the England games, weren't it? They were sharing that going forward and dropping off, a bit like Souček and Rice, really. Yeah,
exactly. So I think it makes the most sense. I don't think we're going to sign Phillips. I don't think that's going to happen now.
I don't think so. I think Phillips will go to a decent level club. Actually, I think he will go to a good club.
I can see him staying at Leeds. I can see him staying. Yeah. They stayed up. I can see him staying.
What about Conor Gallagher then, mate? Again, I'm just going to skip to this comment here. He's a good chap, but not worth 50 million. Maybe 20 million. 20 million. Mate, this guy's like the new England sort of, and come off a fantastic season with Palace.
Yeah.
It's not 20 million, mate. At least 40. At least.
Yeah, Gallagher would be brilliant. He would be a very, very good signing. I suppose he would probably. Then you're looking at like that sort of Lanzini role that Lanzini had playing in the middle of the park. I'll be honest with you, mate. I think Gallagher, Phillips, again, talking about the kind of money, for me, all day long over Ward-Prowse, all day long.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. What about Scott McGinn as well? You know, the Scottish international, really good, tidy little player. Again, 50 million Villa want for him.
I don't know.
He's a good player. He's a really good player, really good player. And I think I'm just, you know, maybe turning my nose up a little bit. It's like, he's a Villa player. But actually, he's a fantastic player. He really is.
I don't know. I would need to see more of him, to be honest. I can't say I've seen that much of him. I'd need to see more of him.
Yeah. Next one on the list, left midfielder, Maxwell Cornet. It's really funny. I made a video, and then the day after, it was like, oh, we linked with him for 17.5 million. I like him, mate. I really do like him. His pace, he's powerful. Yes or no? 17.5 mil.
Where's he playing?
Left mid.
Left mid.
Yeah.
Left mid, yeah.
I mean, left mid. Yeah.
Yeah. That left mid, yeah. You know, we need a left winger. We need someone to balance out Bowen on the other sides. Yeah. But if it doesn't matter what left winger we sign, we need to sign a left back first who can actually defend.
Yeah. What we got here? We need to bring in James Ward-Prowse. Paper Talk said that we want Bale on a 12-month loan deal. Yes or no? Yes.
100% yes. If again if
the
it's
money's right.
Yeah, if the money's right, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I would have it. 100%. Does anyone know about this Newman guy and what he's been doing? Not yet, mate. I've been that one already. Dan says we have to change our setup if we were to be in James.
We would. Yeah. And I don't. Again, is it worth changing the setup, paying that kind of money for someone who's good at free kicks? I don't know. Not for me. Not at the money. Not at the money quoted.
What sort of price would you pay? Is 50 million a good price for Ward-Prowse?
I don't know. No, I wouldn't pay that.
For how much we rely on set pieces.
Listen, if you were asking, is he worth £50 million to a team that could just slot him in straight away? Yeah. To West Ham, I wouldn't pay 50 million for him. I wouldn't. What I would pay for him, honestly, we wouldn't get him for anyway. So it's irrelevant.
Mark Noble, assistant manager.
Assistant manager,
yeah.
That's some promotion, mate.
Right,
Has he even got any coaching badges?
Play James Ward-Prowse where Lanzini does would be great. Yeah, he's not as dynamic as Lanzini. Not saying he's not a better player. Glenn, I mean, recruit, blah, blah, blah. Phillips would be definitely a steal up the midfield. Would be awesome for us. It really, really would. But like you say, mate, I don't think he's coming to you. No,
I don't think so.
No, Luke, he started very well, but then he drifted off. Exclusive, you can celebrate, fans. Finally, Tati Castellanos was hired and will play in July at West Ham. Some RG journalist has said. Yes, I have heard that name. I mentioned him in one of my videos the other day. Plays for New York City, I believe.
Yeah, he's playing in the MLS, yeah. But apparently he's pretty good. Again, I've never seen him play. According to the press over there, sounds like it's pretty much a done deal. We'll wait and see. Could be the next Jonathan Calleri.
Exactly, mate. Yeah. Listen, give him a chance when we see him in a West Ham shirt. If it is him, good. But hopefully he plays. That's the most important thing. I just hate when we sign a player and he don't bloody play. He don't get given a 5-6 games to play. Striker-wise, again, mate, Watkins, Brozier. I don't think any of them will sign for us.
Nah. So again, Ollie Watkins, you're talking what, 50 mil?
Yeah.
I just can't see us spending the money. Would I pay 50 million for Ollie Watkins?
If that's what Moyes sees as the final piece of the puzzle, yes.
I'll go for that. I want Brozier. I want Brozier.
I want Brozier as well. And I know that a lot of West Ham fans are a bit like, I don't know. I think
He's 20 years old.
He's a better project.
Yeah, exactly. He's 20 years old and he's bullying defenders at 20. What other players at that age are doing that in the league?
No,
you know, that's who I want. But I don't have faith that we're going to sign anyone.
Mate, I don't. I really don't. We'll sign. I said this. I say this every window. We'll sign someone, but I don't think we're.
Is it going to be the player that we need?
I don't think one of these worldly ones are going to come in. You know, the Phillips, the Wolf Prices, and people like that. They're not happening. They're not. We should be, though. I don't know whether you watched my video yesterday, mate. I said that West Ham, as a football team, we should be going for any player outside the top 6, 7 and going, we want your best player and trying to get him. I think we're in that position to at least try and go and get him. And not a David Sullivan we've tried. Actually, there you go. Boom, 50 million. We want this player. Yeah. But I don't think we will. I don't.
No,
really
I don't.
Think we will.
I don't, mate. I don't. I don't know. I've got. We'll have to wait and see. Let's wait and see. Let's hope. But I haven't got any faith that we're going to bring in the players that we need, and we need so many. We need so many,
mate. So many. Luke, sadly, this will be the last season for FIFA previews due to the name changing from 24. Even if you continue with them, it will feel different. Sadly, yeah. I need to bring them back. It's just finding the time in the week to film them. Anything else, mate? Anything on Liverpool last night? What a shame.
Gutting. So sad, mate. Gutted.
Did you see Joe Cole's thing at all, mate? About the he never wanted anyone to complete football. You know,
yeah.
Before you've completed football, and it would end any arguments.
Ends all arguments. Yeah. They couldn't have done that this year anyway, obviously, because they didn't win the league. Yeah. But so loads and loads. I know loads and loads of Liverpool fans. I live in Northern Ireland, so everyone over here is either Liverpool or Man United. So for me, it was brilliant because otherwise I'd have to listen to that forever. About them winning the Champions League. So yeah, I'm pleased. Plus, personally, I'll never, ever, and I said this to one of my mates who supports Liverpool. I'll never, ever get over 2006. Never. I'll never get over it, and I never want to see Liverpool ever win any cup because of that. So.
I thought Real Madrid. I think you've got to give them credit as well, mate. You know, beat Chelsea, beat Man City, beat PSG, beat Liverpool, mate. Probably the hardest run you could go on in that competition.
They're winners. They are winners. Mate, Real Madrid are winners.
There's something different about them this year. They have, still. I've not seen a steely Real Madrid team before. Usually, it's beautiful football, superstar. Obviously, Vinicius is the superstar who scored the goal. But yeah, brilliant.
And Benzema, mate.
Oh yeah, what a talent.
I've been saying for years. I've been saying for years. He's the most underrated player in world football. I've been saying that for years. Yeah. So, what a player.
Well, he's been playing in Ronaldo's shadow for so long, weren't it? That, 44 goals himself this season. Ridiculous. The way Europe treats the English is humane. We are the ones who invented the beautiful game. Real Madrid did not deserve to win that. I think Matt is the Liverpool fan, if I remember. Is Matt mainly Liverpool? There is one. I remember there's a guy who's a Liverpool fan that always comments along.
The way Europe treats the English is inhumane. How many videos were there last night of the game being delayed and Liverpool fans storming the gates,
with the fake tickets,
climbing over the walls, rushing in with no tickets? It's crazy, mate. All the Madrid fans got in no problem. It's funny, isn't it? It's mad how that happened.
Anything else, mate, on West Ham or going forward? I think we spoke for an hour today.
I don't think so. Let's all be disappointed by the next week's transfer news.
Yeah, the fixtures come out in a couple of weeks as well.
When does the window actually open?
I assume it's Tuesday.
I can't remember when the window actually opens.
I assume it's 1st of June, no?
June the 10th.
Oh, June the 10th. Couple of weeks. Yeah.
So let's hope we have some positive news before then, and let's hope when that window opens, there are signings ready to walk through the door.
Yeah. Exactly, mate. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in today. Staying with us for an hour. Been a good show. We'll try and do these, once a week, as we do, building up to the season and talk just anything that comes up, really. If you're out there, if you know any other West Ham fans that haven't seen us, please get us out there. We're about 280 away now from the 4K target, which is good. Once you start getting to that 4K, 5K, that's when, you can start getting a bit more sponsorship and, our content gets a bit better and hopefully we can get there. Until next time, guys, thank you so much. Come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.